1999, a mysterious disappearance shocked a small rural community. For 1 year and 5 months, investigators were unable to reach a clear conclusion. The case kept changing direction. At first, the main suspect confessed to killing his own sister. Later, he completely denied the crime. As if that wasn't confusing enough, even forensic experts initially could not confirm whether the discovered human bones actually belonged to the missing woman. So what really happened? Who killed the village's most beautiful girl, 20-year-old Sarah? And were the bones discovered deep inside Haji Mountain Forest really hers? On the night of August 9th, 1999, Sarah suddenly disappeared from her home in the Jalalabad region. During the investigation, police discovered an important detail. From August 1st to August 10th, Sarah's parents had been staying in a summer resort area in Masali. They returned home only the morning after their daughter disappeared. At the house that night were Sarah's 3 brothers, Thomas, Victor, and Adam. According to them, the family had dinner together on the evening of August 8th. After dinner, Sarah went to her room to sleep. Her brother Thomas later told investigators that he had spent most of the night outside in the yard and never saw his sister leave the house. But rumors in the village pointed in a completely different direction. Some villagers who were questioned by the police said they suspected Thomas, Sarah's brother. However, during questioning, Thomas rejected all accusations and claimed that neighbors might have been involved in the disappearance. 22 days later, on September 2nd, a shocking discovery was made. Human bones were found in the Haji Mountain Forest area near the village of Inchili. About 50 meters away, investigators discovered a blanket with dark stains. This discovery quickly sparked rumors in the village. At that time, Sarah was the only missing person in the entire district, so many believed the bones must belong to her. A criminal case was opened under Article 120.1, intentional murder. One detail quickly drew investigators' attention. The blanket found near the bones was identified as belonging to Thomas's household. After long interrogations, Thomas made a shocking confession. He told investigators that on the night of August 9th, he had killed his sister Sarah and taken her body to the forest near Insili village. Forensic examinations were ordered. Initial expert reports concluded that the bones belonged to a female. The estimated age was 18 to 20. Height was approximately 155 centimeters. These characteristics match Sarah. Blood traces found on a pair of pants and an axe also matched the blood indicators found in the bone tissue. Everything seemed to point toward Thomas. But then the investigation suddenly took a dramatic turn. Thomas retracted his confession. He claimed he had been forced to confess. He now insisted he had nothing to do with his sister's death and instead suspected 2 neighbors, Kevin and Ethan. A second forensic examination was ordered. This time, the results were completely different. Experts stated that there was not enough information about the victim's dental condition, height, or the conditions in which the bones had remained in the soil. Because of this, they said it was impossible to confirm that the bones belonged to Sarah. This contradiction put investigators in a very difficult position. Meanwhile, Thomas's father began sending numerous complaints to higher authorities, claiming his son had been illegally arrested. Family members also insisted that the crime had been forced onto Thomas. More than 1 year passed, and investigators still had no final answer. Finally, on October 10th, 2000, a new forensic examination was ordered. This time, it was conducted outside Azerbaijan at an expert center in Moscow. The results would change the course of the investigation. Experts concluded that the skull, missing its lower jaw, belonged to a Caucasian female aged between 18 and 20. When compared with Sarah's photographs, the facial structure and anthropological features matched. The conclusion was sent to the Prosecutor General's office and then to the Jalalabad Prosecutor's office. In December, Thomas was once again officially charged. This time, faced with the evidence, he confessed again, but his new statements revealed even darker details. In his first confession, Thomas claimed that before killing Sarah, he had sexual relations with her. Later, however, he changed that statement. He said the real reason for the murder was something else. According to Thomas, on August 8th, while returning home, he saw Sarah talking to two unknown men. As soon as Sarah noticed her brother approaching, she quickly walked toward the house while the two men disappeared into the forest. Inside the house, Thomas demanded to know who the men were, but Sarah refused to answer and told him to mind his own business. This only made Thomas more suspicious. Later that night, after dinner, Sarah and her brothers went upstairs to sleep. Around 2 a.m., Thomas entered Sarah's room and quietly woke her up. He told her he wanted to talk outside, in the backyard. When Sarah approached him, the situation turned tragic. Thomas pulled out a wire he had prepared earlier and wrapped it around her neck from behind. Sarah struggled desperately to escape, but Thomas tightened the wire until she stopped moving. After the murder, fear took over. Thomas decided to hide the body. Using an axe, he dismembered the body and buried the remains in a coal pit in the yard. He cleaned the blood stains and washed his clothes. Then he sat in the yard until morning, thinking about how to explain Sarah's disappearance. Eventually, he decided to say that she had run away with someone. When the parents returned from Masali, Thomas and his brothers told them Sarah had eloped. The family believed this and began searching for her. But Thomas soon realized keeping the body in the yard was dangerous. On the night of August 10th, he dug up the remains and transported them to Haji Mountain Forest. He deliberately did not bury the body, believing animals would destroy the remains and erase the evidence. Sometime later, Thomas told only one person about the crime, his cousin, Nathan. He insisted that none of his other brothers knew anything and that he committed the crime alone. However, early investigation documents suggested that other family members were also in the house that night, including another sister. Despite this, Thomas continued to take full responsibility. The investigation lasted for years. Finally, the case was reviewed in court. In February to April 2021, the court found Thomas guilty. Born in 1971, he was sentenced to 11 years in prison in a high-security correctional facility. Thus, the crime that once shocked the southern region finally reached its legal conclusion. The killer was punished. Yet even today, some villagers and people who knew the family still believe that Thomas might be innocent.